Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
From American Angus Association headquarters in St. Joseph, Missouri, we bring you the week's top headlines, including how more producers are reaching historically higher quality grades. USDA announces some new labeling requirements, and one young leader shares her passion for raising Angus cattle.
This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. The nation's cattlemen are producing the highest percentage of choice and higher cattle since the USDA implemented the grade change in the mid-1970s. 2015 numbers show beef quality continues to climb, reaching 73.2% choice and prime for the first 8 weeks. In 2014, the share of cattle grading prime exceeded 4% for the first time as an annual average, and CAB acceptance rates were at a record 25.6%. Tracy Thomas of U.S. Premium Beef says the signals for quality beef production are prevalent.
The remaining cow herd genetically is very good. We're seeing a lot of those calves come to town today. That too is contributing to the record high percent prime and choice and certainly certified Angus beef that we're seeing in the marketplace today. They're sending their cattle in on a quality-based grid. They're getting premiums above and beyond what those cattle would have earned on the cash market. So the economic signals are clearly there to start rebuilding the nation's cow herd, and a lot of the ag economists are telling us that producers are doing just that. So with Angus producers, in our particular case, over the life of our program, the percent of cattle that are Angus has grown substantially. When we started in the late 90s, it was just below 40%. Today, it's approaching 80% that are black-hided cattle. That's a trend that's going to look like it's going to continue on into the future.
USDA announced it will soon require labels on packages of tenderized beef. Machine tenderized beef is poked with instruments to ensure a tender product, but potential bacteria from the process requires a fully cooked center, according to the agency. The labels will reportedly indicate that the meat was mechanically tenderized and will include cooking instructions. The labels will be required beginning in May 2016.
Recent survey data show more states are moving toward harmonizing interstate regulations and approved testing for trichomoniasis, or commonly known as trick. In late 2014, the U.S. Animal Health Association endorsed 3 standard components of interstate regulations and testing for trick. Under the standards, virgin bulls up to 18 months of age will be exempt from the requirements, and a negative test is valid for 60 days after collection if bulls are held separately of females. A single negative DNA sample will also be accepted if collected by a veterinarian certified to collect trick samples for interstate movement. Marty Zalewski, state veterinarian for Montana, conducted a survey in the first quarter of 2015 to determine if more states were adopting the 3 standards. Results show that 6 states are meeting the standard established by the U.S. Animal Health Association resolution. 5 states report having changes pending and expect to meet the standard by 2016. Another 11 states are looking to initiate the changes to meet the standards. Only 4 states, Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, and Utah, report they do not intend to make changes. Zalewski plans to repeat the survey annually.
The Endangered Species Act is a common point of contention for many farmers and ranchers, specifically when a disconnect happens between happenings on the land and legislation. Wildlife specialist Charlie Lee talks about issues all ranchers can keep in mind when it comes to the act and finding a balance that works for both cattle and wildlife.
It may restrict the way you graze, it may restrict the amount of cattle you put on an operation, or it may restrict the amount of time that you leave them on there. As long as you're under an approved plan, you may be exempt from many of those restrictions. Probably the biggest thing that an individual rancher could do for lesser prairie chicken would be monitor his grazing pressure. Develop and work in conjunction with range professionals to develop a grazing plan, then implement that plan.
We go now to Jen McCrell for news you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Crystal. Online registration is now open for the 2015 Angus Meats Business National Convention and Trade Show. Registration is $75 per person, and for that price, attendees can participate in leading educational workshops, hear from thought-provoking speakers, Visit the expansive trade show and enjoy an evening with country singer Sammy Kershaw. In addition, one lucky attendee on November 3rd will take home a Cat skid steer loader. Sign up and make your hotel reservations online today at angusconvention.com. June 1st also marks the beginning of the American Angus Association's 2015 to 2016 Roll of Victory show season. This year's competitions kick off at the All-American Breeders' Futurity in Louisville, Kentucky, June 13th through the 14th. New to the ROV lineup this year will be the Nebraska State Fair and the Keystone International Livestock Expo. There will be 18 total ROV competitions held throughout the show season, which includes 6 Super Point shows. For the latest results and information, stay tuned to angus.org. As cattle numbers begin to increase, how can cattlemen ensure profitability on the ranch? That's the topic of discussion during the next Trends Plus Cow-Calf webinar, hosted free online by Cattle Facts. The webinar takes place Wednesday, June 10th at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Cattle Facts experts will discuss the price outlook for cattle and feedstuffs for the remaining half of the year, expectations for 2015 value-added premiums in the calf market, and considerations for estimating returns on management practices. And that's what you need to know this week in the Angus business.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Did you know every dollar invested in the beef checkoff returns $11.20? Did you know that without your checkoff, foreign demand for U.S. beef would have been 6.4% lower? Did you know, due to your checkoff, 15.7 billion more pounds of beef were sold in the U.S.? While you manage your operation, your checkoff investment results in higher prices, which means stronger returns for your bottom line. Get to know your checkoff at mybeefcheckoff.com.
Some call it a come-from-behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune. The feeling of snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment.
Are you going to do this every time we treat a calf with Zuprevo?
Absolutely.
Well, all right then.
Don't let BRD interfere with his performance. Treat it with Zuprevo and get him back to his home pen. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
Join the team, the Beef Quality Assurance Team. Getting BQA certified shows you're committed to practices that produce the highest quality beef in the world. And by visiting BQA.org, you can take the online certification course at a time that fits your schedule and from the comfort of your home or office. You'll also find lots of helpful tips on improving animal health and animal handling practices. Get certified, BQA certified, because it's about doing the right thing. Visit BQA.org today and become a member of the BQA team.
At 44 Farms, we believe work starts at sunup and doesn't stop until sundown. We believe in order to live off the land, you have to love and respect it. We believe that cattle aren't just raised, they're nurtured. And we believe when you do things right, with honesty and integrity, well, things like quality and consistency happen naturally. 44 Farm Steaks, responsibly raised all-natural beef.
Horn flies cost cattle producers nearly $1 billion a year. They interrupt grazing, cause loss of blood, and impact your bottom line. By incorporating Alticid IGR into your supplement program, you can prevent the emergence of adult horn flies. Alticid IGR will significantly reduce stress on your cattle. For pennies a day, you can control the most costly parasite and increase your profitability. Contact your feed supplier to incorporate Alticid IGR today.
Hey cattlemen, the Angus business comes to Overland Park this November with the Angus Means Business Convention and Trade Show, educational workshops, entertainers like Sammy Kershaw, and an industry-leading trade show. Plus, we're giving away a Caterpillar skid steer to a lucky attendee. All cattlemen are invited. Get registered at angusconvention.com.
Working your cattle just got easier. Introducing the new Vet Gun delivery system, a new way to apply topical insecticides to your cattle. The Vet Gun lets you remotely treat cattle with effective parasite control, so you can do it just walking among the herd. It's that simple. The proven topical insecticide AML Vet Cap is used with the Vet Gun. It works fast to control horn flies and lice while minimizing stress on your cattle. Fast, easy, effective. Vet Gun. Check with your animal health supplier for availability.